I know a lot of people with no children be like, after a long day, I just cannot imagine coming home to children, which honestly is a little odd to me because why are we talking about a life that we're not living? But
this mother is coming for child-free women for speaking about not having kids and not wanting kids and how miserable it is to have kids. Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a video of a mother, a 26 years old mother and a content creator who came online to speak on child-free women that talk about not having kids. So in her video, she went on to talk about how she doesn't understand why women that don't have kids are not living the life of having kids, are speaking on having kids and not wanting kids, and that she doesn't see that she herself, she's living an amazing life, and she, one of the things she lives for is for her to go home and meet her children. Anyway guys, before I move further, I need you guys to see the video and let me know if you agree with what she said, or if you disagree, go ahead and share your thoughts.
I know a lot of people with no children be like, after a long day, I just cannot imagine coming home to children, which honestly is a little odd to me because why are we talking about a life that we're not living? But either way it goes, I want to give y'all another perspective. After a long day away from my children, I cannot wait to get home to them. I cannot imagine not walking in the door and not seeing my children. I cannot imagine after a long day not walking in the door and not seeing them smiling and excited to see me. And as nice as solitude and silence is, I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay. Mom life is for me. I am a mother to my core. I love it here. And after a long day, a short day, a quick day, a loud day, a silent day, a busy day, I wouldn't want to come home to any other reality than being their mom. Okay. Every day. I choose it. I would choose it every day. I would choose them over and over again. I am a young black 26-year-old, happily married, stay-at-home mom of 2, doubling as a full-time content creator. What more could I ask for? Baby, I'm living the dream.
So that is our take. So let me know your own take, guys. You guys know I love hearing from you guys. So go ahead and share your own take. But yeah, this video has caused a lot of conversation coming on from both mothers, from both child-free women, from both like everybody speaking on it, and I really want to know your own take on this, because I feel like this is a very interesting conversation, because she's telling people that have kids, the people that don't want kids, child-free women, or people that don't have kids, not to speak on having kids because they've never experienced it. But the truth is that once those kids come here, you can't take them back. So anyway, I have a lot to say, because you guys know I'm a child-free 40 years old woman, and I have so much to say about this, because it's something I speak about a lot, about not having kids and want women not to opt to be very intentional of having kids. So I'm super excited to share my thought on this. So but let's go check out people who respond to this, and then we'll come back and talk more.
So I know a lot of people with no children be like, after a long day, I just cannot imagine coming home to children, which honestly is a little odd to me because why are we talking about a life that we're not living? But
why are we talking about a life that we don't live? Okay. We come on this app every day and talk about married folks, and most of us not married.
Okay, valid.
We come on this app every day and talk about what rich folks do, and none of us is rich. Well, I'm not rich. That's why. Because we can talk about a life that we don't want to live, respectfully. Mm-hmm. Some of you don't realize that some of us just could not imagine coming home from a 9 to 5 to some yelling, screaming kids. Go to the comment section. Oh my God, I love my kids so much, but as soon as I get home, I'm overstimulated. I don't want to be overstimulated. I've been overstimulated all day. Oh my God, I come home from work, and it's good for the first hour, but then after that, the headache comes. The only headache I want to come is because I had too many cups that night, because that Patron started to hit my frontal lobe. How about that? That's the only headache I want. Respectfully, if you love your kids, that's good for you. But guess what? For me, I'm good.
So I know a lot of people with no children be like, after a long day, I just cannot imagine coming home to children, which honestly is a little odd to me because why are we talking about a life that we're not living? But either way it goes, I want to give y'all another perspective. After a long day away from my children, I cannot wait to get home to.
This is going to be one of the most irritating arguments that we always have, because I don't know why we just can't live our lives and mind our business and do what makes us happy. Because you know what? If someone don't want kids, they don't have to have kids. They don't want kids. Stop trying to make people feel bad for not wanting kids. Everyone does not have to have kids. If they don't want to have kids, guess what? They don't want to have kids. It's okay to not want kids. Kids is a lot of work. They are. They're a big responsibility. And some people don't want to go through that. And guess what? That's okay. But on the other hand, stop making people feel bad for having kids. Like, I don't know why y'all be feeling like people with kids need to be, or they're supposed to be miserable or sad or hate their life or something. But that's weird too. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop doing that. Because guess what? It's actually fun being a parent. It is. I love it. I love being a parent. Before I had kids, hell no. I did not want a kid at all. But I wound up having a kid, and this is the best life I've ever lived. I'm as happy as I've ever been being a mom. I love being a mom. Either way it goes, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to want to live a free life without the extra responsibilities of another human being. It's okay to want to come home and just sit down in peace and quiet and not have to worry about homework, bedtime routine, dinner, all that stuff, because that's a lot. And it's okay to not want to deal with that. But it's also okay if you do have to do that. Either way, it's okay.
After a long day away from my children, I cannot wait to get home to them.
Oh, that's so sweet. The video actually does not pertain to me, but I also have another perspective. I have 2 children. And at one point, I did feel the same way that young lady felt, like couldn't wait to get home to my kids after a long day, after not seeing them all day. But I look forward to the days where I get to come home and there's nobody here but me. Just my own energy, my own presence, my own essence. And I have no one calling my name, no one asking me for anything. I look forward to those days. But you're married, I'm not. You're not a single mom, I am. So our circumstances are very different. But that's just to shed light on another perspective as a mom. Yeah, but more blessings, more peace, more abundance, more power to you, my love. Yeah.
I know a lot of people with no children be like, after a long day, I just cannot imagine coming home to children, which honestly is a little odd to me because why are we talking about a life that we're not living? But either way it goes, I want to give y'all another perspective. After a long day away from my children, I cannot wait to get home to them.
Okay, sis, still not looking forward to kids after I come from my work. I mean, it didn't really change my mind. I feel like y'all really don't understand somebody else's beautiful dream could be the next person's nightmare. And that could just be currently as a 25-year-old, I cannot imagine myself coming home to kids. That's just something I'm not looking forward to right now. I want to come home to myself and myself only. That's it. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a time, there's going to be a day when I can't wait to see my beautiful kids' faces and my husband, Like, that day will come. But don't be upset because certain people have a different look than what your current reality looks like. It's not a jab. It's not coming for you. It's simply just what they want right now. That's it. And I want to make it very clear, sis, I am so happy that you are so in love and you're married and you have beautiful kids and you come home to them. You're happy. I am happy for your reality. As a mother, as a wife, that is beautiful. And someday I hope to have that as well. But currently, in the life that I'm living, at the age that I am right now, that is not what I want. It's just not. That's not a thing that I currently want. And I think that's okay. Just like I think it's okay at your age and where you're at, you can have that as your reality. I think that's beautiful.
So I know a lot of people with no children be like, after a long day, I just cannot imagine coming home to children, which...
So these are 2 and 3 out of the 4 of my babies after my 12-hour shift. And I agree with this creator. Getting off work now hits different because y'all... Sorry, I had to relocate. But I agree. When I get off work, I'm excited. Granted, I work 1 day a week, 2 days a week. But when I do leave them, it's like my heart is empty. I need to be back with my babies. I'm excited to see them. What she said was not bashing the people that don't have kids. Y'all are not living a life that we live, and that's fine. On the other end, I envy y'all. I love to see the women with no kids living their lives, living their truth, because I once enjoyed that life, but I also enjoyed the life that I decided to create. What she was giving was her perspective, her opinion on her life. She didn't downplay anybody else's life. When I didn't have kids, I didn't look at women with kids and say, oh, your life, because for some reason society has people thinking that people with kids don't have a life, and surprisingly we do. Not saying that one doesn't work harder than the other, but I know for a fact that I have to go harder because I have kids dependent on me. When you have yourself, and you are fulfilling what you need for you. But now I realize I have something to fulfill for myself, for me, for my personal view. But I see too many, every couple of months, it's a discourse on women with kids and women without kids. And it's always an argument. There is no argument. There shouldn't be an argument. You have kids, enjoy your life that you wanted and you created. You don't have kids, enjoy the life that you didn't want. And that's fine. Honey, the way I used to go to work overnight, work 4 10s, hop on the plane at 6 a.m. when I got off my shift and be somewhere else, I miss those days. And to see the girls living that life, live a life. And my mom era, where I'm ready to go to Disney, I'm ready to do trips with them. I have a whole new outlook on life that's different. And it's not to say that anybody's wrong for that. But this bashing her and saying, that's what you want, that's what she was saying. Her life is fulfilled in a different way. Now, what I will say is that my kids are not my personality. And that's why I don't try to post much with them in it. Because I am who I am. And I am trying to find me again. I will say that. Having kids, you do lose yourself. And some people get wrapped up into this notion of, I'm a mom and a wife. I am Kiana. I'm that man's wife, but I'm Kiana. I'm the kid's mama, but I'm Kiana. And I have to put myself first sometimes too. So it's not going to be about them. My stuff is not going to be about them. It's about me. You might see them spatted, a little bit here and there. But, yeah, I just wanted to put my little 2 cents before I go to sleep. But that's how I feel.
And coming home to children, which honestly is a little odd to me because why are we talking about a life that we're not living?
Because we're constantly being pressured and chastised for not wanting that life. And that's just the short answer. On a more personal level, I feel like I speak about that life so often, or more so the absence of that life, because I want other women, I want young women, especially young women on the fence, to understand. I want them to be aware that there are options outside of motherhood, because it's no secret that we are conditioned from the time that we are young girls to want motherhood. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to sway or deter women from motherhood, but I want women, I feel like a lot of the content that you see about being like a stay-at-home mom is very glamorized, and people don't actually talk about what actually goes into parenthood. There's so much more to it than dressing up with your kid and being besties. Yes, as a child-free woman, I genuinely could not imagine having to go through my entire work day and come home to a house full of children. Not even one child, actually. Trust, for every one child-free comment you see, there are about 10 anti-child-free comments talking about how lonely we are, how we're not going to have anybody to take care of us in old age, we're childless cat ladies, how we're probably just infertile and mad. If I'm being very honest, a lot of the negative rhetoric about motherhood comes from mothers. I cannot tell you how many times mothers have told me not to have kids.
So I know a lot of people with no children be like, after a long day, I just cannot imagine coming home to children, which...
So if you go back and watch that, what she said right after that part that I stitched was, which I think is weird, because why are we speaking on lifestyles that we are not living? Baby, everybody who creates content on the internet has spoken at minimum at least once on a lifestyle that they're not living. And that's just because of the culture of having access by way of observing through public forums of information that people choose to volunteer to us. But anyways, I never understand why there is always so much discourse around people who talk about how much they enjoy not having children. You know what's funny? I always thought that I wanted children, or at minimum one girl. And it wasn't until I lost my parents. And it's funny because she spoke about how she's 26. She has kids, she's married, she's living the dream, she gets to make content, and that's beautiful. I love that for any woman, especially a black woman, because we all under patriarchy. So if you can find a way to make it work for you, go ahead with your best. But my whole thing is, that's what you're doing at 26. At 26, I was burying my second, parent, going through extreme depression, poverty, and all types of stuff. So yes, after a long day of being a full-time MSW student, where you are required to work an unpaid part-time job as a social worker with a caseload, and, maintain a 3.0 and up and a master's program at an Ivy League while grieving 2 parents, I was so happy after my long days with the nest that I didn't have no kids to come home to. Hell, sometimes coming home to my chihuahua, my dog turd, catch it, was a bit much. Having to walk her and having to feed her. And it was getting that puppy at 9 weeks, the same year I lost my mother back in 2021, that helped me see, yeah, you have the maternal instinct. You're able to unconditionally love and so on and so forth, but you are not ready to do it for a little human that's going to be solely codependent on you for a period of time. And even once they get interdependent, once you in, you locked in. I appreciated her giving a different perspective from a positive view, because you did have women get in the comments and say that they're pregnant. There was this one woman that said she was giving birth, I think, in a matter of 7 weeks, and people keep telling her she's going to regret it. Now, why the fuck would y'all say that to someone? Why would you tell someone that's carrying a baby? It's not even solely about the mom and her process, but the child that's marinating in that. Why would you tell someone they're going to regret it because you regret your decisions? But I did just speak about this on my community wall. So I had just put this post on my community wall on my YouTube page, where I was reading an article on Medium about a woman that was dealing with infertility. And what I loved is, even though she spoke about the ups and downs of grieving the attachment she had to the desire of wanting to become a mother and have biological children of herself, at the end, she said, I asked myself, why me? But then I think, why not me? I am living the dream of my grandmother. And I go on to say, sometimes the things we are conditioned to desire that we somehow can't obtain is all within the divine plan to move you and your bloodline forward. Meaning that you could have had women that came before you that was just like you, that wanted children based off of the way society presents motherhood, or the way your friends and people in your peer circle present it. But once they got into it, they loved their kids unconditionally, but they didn't really necessarily align with motherhood in the ways in which it took them away from parts of themselves. You understand? And a lot of women, as I stated here, 50% of mothers documented in studies regret motherhood. Not so much their children, but they regret motherhood. So it is a real thing. And I do suggest, and this is just my suggestion, wait until you're out of your 20s, unless you're one of those 20-year-olds that just has it together really early. You have the village, you have the support, but wait until, let the right side of your brain form, and go out into the world and use that right side of the brain to get used to it before having children. Because you have a lot of people that's in a rush to have kids by the time they're 25, by the time they're 23, by the time they're this, and it's like, a lot of y'all end up growing up and becoming more of a hindrance to your child's journey, as opposed to an assistant, because you start to realize you can't move the same way that you want to, or you still are moving the same way that you want to, but now that child is being neglected. So it's room, there's truth and room on all sides of this conversation. And the most common sense way to approach this is, do works for you. If it works for you to have kids in your early 20s because God has ordered your steps to find your divine counterpart early, and y'all are able to grow together and separately and intersect and have that transcend in a positive way for the children, then go off. Especially for the black women, go all the way off. But if you are just someone that you're chasing that goal to the point where you may get desperate and force it, similar to the new trophy wife, don't go off. Don't go nowhere. I just want you to sit right where you're at and do some self inventory.
Okay, sis. Okay, sis. She just like I love our take on it. So please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this conversation we're having down in the comment section. Okay, but please, as always, keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, and share your thought. Okay, so I've been here for a minute. You know that Destiny is child free, and I love being child free. And I just turned 40 this year, and it's something that I celebrate and I speak about. And miraculously, the people in my life now has come to the place where they support me, they support my journey, and it's almost like they refer me to like my mom now. My mom literally refer me to other women that are struggling with having children or don't want children. My mom was like, talk to my daughter, here's her number. That's the kind of thing, and I'm too grateful for that space and the community I'm building here. But coming back to what the lady was talking about how people with no children, she doesn't understand why we are in the place where we are speaking on having children and why we don't have children. Like the other creator said, is that the reason why we speak on it and we talk on it is because that is the ideal expectation as a woman, especially when you're a grown woman, you're an adult. That's the expectation they have for you, that you need to get married, you need to have children. And now we are unlearning and deconstructing that. And the truth is that I am so proud that a lot of child-free women are speaking up, because the truth is that a lot of women, especially in my society, in my culture, did not know that was a possible, or that is a group of there are a group of women that would say with their full chest to say, you know what, I don't want kids. But having that conversation and saying some of the things why we don't want to have kids has been able to help other women to be open and honest to themselves. Because the truth is that some women don't want kids. They just knew that right when they were kids. Some women got to find out they don't want kids because people were having the conversation and the reality hit on them. Some women realized that they don't have kids because of the kind of life they were raised into, or the kind of life they had as a child and growing up. They just click like, no, I don't want kids. Why some women don't have kids? Because they just don't have kids. So in the aspect of saying that because you don't have it, you can speak on it, I totally disagree on this. Because whether, as much as we say, oh, you can speak on it and all that, when we were once kids at a time and we have conversation with our friends, especially when you have amazing friends where you talk and you're honest about the situation. I have friends that have kids. They love their kids to death. I love their kids. I'm one of the most amazing auntie ever. My nieces, my nephew, my friend kids, they will tell you I'm an amazing auntie. But that reality will click in, and then you realize that is this the life we really want to ask? And there's a question I always talk about here on this channel, that these are the questions as a woman you need to ask. A lot of times women have not asked themselves this question. That's why when you ask a woman first that who are you, the first thing they'll tell you, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. They don't have an identity apart from those things, because that's how society has programmed it. And that has made women to not pour into themselves. Rather than them, they don't pour into themselves, they pour into others. And there's this self-neglect that reflects on women, and it kind of shows the way it is. Because when you don't love yourself, how do you show love to somebody? I'm a big opinion of that. When you don't love yourself, how do you show love to somebody? So when someone like this creator is talking about how women that don't have kids should not speak on not having kids, why shouldn't we? Society has made us look like we are crazy and all that. And the fact that now we are now building a community to support each other. And the truth is that I remember when I just started on my childhood journey, and I was beginning to say it out loud for other people to hear. I remember the pushback I got from my society and culture, because this is something that it's not heard of in my culture. If you don't know, I'm from Nigeria and I live in Nigeria. This is something that is not heard in my culture, in my society. So it was almost like, how can you say you don't want kids? Who's going to take care of you? And just that all the rhetoric questions that were given back to me, like why I should want kids because of those reasons, I was giving them a very, very fact-checking answer, like who's going to take care of you in old age? Oh, you're going to die alone. I was giving that, but there was a lot of pushback. So having women that are living it, and this is what I'm very passionate about it, having women that are living the life and be able to speak about it and talk about it, because whether you like it or not, like I myself, I have raised kids. I'm the first daughter, and the truth is that I've come to find out. You guys let me know down in the comment section if this is something you've that I'm beginning to notice in the child-free community. Most child-free women are first daughters, and I kind of have my theory. And I think I did a video a couple of months ago about this, that first daughters are choosing not to have kids because we were made to be mothers at a very young age to raise our younger ones. So we know firsthand the labor that comes from raising a child. And the truth is that if you're a very intentional person and very self-aware person, that's the question you should ask yourself, and that's led us to this place. So saying that, oh, because you don't have kids you can speak on it, some of us we've raised amazing human beings as our younger ones, as our nieces, as our nephew, and we have an idea what the commitment, the sacrifice it takes to have a kid. If you've ever been on the fence of if you want kids or not, one thing I would tell you is that go have a puppy. Not a dog, not a trained dog. Go have a puppy that you have to train the puppy step by step and everything, and then you see the commitment. And remind you, having a dog is of no equal of having a child, let me just tell you. But it will give you an insight of the commitment that comes from having taken care of another human. But do you know what it is? And also talking about how child-free women cannot speak on not having kids or having kids. Are you seeing what the economy is talking about? So why can't we speak on it? So for me, I really I'm not, and I get it. She's living her best life, and I'm happy for her. Go do you, live your best life. But don't tell women, especially women, that we're breaking barriers of the norm society, the box society has put us to break free and be able to have our own identity, be able to pour into ourselves, be able to help other women pour into themselves and be intentional about their life. Don't try and tell us that there was something wrong with us, because you're living your reality, and your reality, you love it. There are some women that love being kids. Like everybody in my life will tell you, the people in my life, like in real life, they will tell you that Destiny is an amazing mom, because the truth is that even though I don't have kids, I am seen as a mother figure for a lot of people. A lot of people see me as a mom because that's how I've been all my life. I've been a mom to my younger ones, to my nieces, to my nephew, to my niece-in-law, to my friends' kids. I've always been a mom to them. My friend kids, most of them call me big mommy, big aunt. Like I have been that that person. So because I don't biologically bet a child, that doesn't mean I'm not mothering children. And I can speak on it. It is taxing. It is taxing. And if I can encourage another woman to be very intentional, ask the question, why do I really want kids? And the woman make a very informed and self-aware decision of having kids. I'm glad for it. I'm not telling anybody not to have kids or have kids, but what I am preaching about is that be very intentional on why you want kids, because we've had women break down and cry because they didn't even know what they were getting themselves into before having kids, and now they have the kids, they can't send the kids back. The kids are here, so they're here to stand. These women are frustrated. Their life has changed. They don't know. But do you know the beautiful thing as a woman? When you're very self-aware and you're very intentional, and one of the things you want is to be a mother, that frustration doesn't come on, I can tell you, because you're very intentional and you know what you want, and you pick the right person you want to have kids with, unlike the way society just have kids. So no, we can speak on it, okay? Anyway, guys, please go ahead and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But as always, keep it respectful. Go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see. And that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.